Feel free to welcome the crowd.
All right, welcome everybody. Sal and Jason here with Let's Talk Cobrakai. Very interesting and fun episode here. We're going to be covering some things we have never really covered in depth until now.
This is
I don't think we've gone as a deep dive into our I would almost say the services that we offer. I would almost say we're a purveyor and these are the services that we offer.
Okay, we are live, so let's jump in, Sal. Welcome to Just Curious Media. This is Let's Talk Cobrakai. I'm Jason Connell.
And I'm Sal Rodriguez.
All right, Sal, as you were just alluding to, we are going to talk about Patreon. And this episode is called Patreon Palooza.
Yeah.
And why is that, Sal?
Because you know what? It's a celebration. To me, it's a celebration. We have some very interesting things happening. Hi, Nico. There's your dog.
Hey, yes, he loves Patreons.
Nico loves Patreon. We're going to talk about Patreon. Patreon is a interesting topic. You know, it's only growing and getting bigger and bigger. YouTubers are using Patreon all the time. Now we are getting more involved in Patreon, and everything's are going well. So we want things to go even better. So we are going to talk more about Patreon and how our listeners can be more involved with Sal and Jason.
Absolutely. And we are very fortunate to have 5 loyal Patreons to date. And we didn't really put a lot behind this initially, but when we got our first one, Lindsay Babout, shout out, strike first.
Shout out, holla.
She kicked things off. And then we got Jason Kersey, strike hard, Machete, strike hard. Brian Rumfola, who was strike hard and then went to No Mercy. Mercy. Then he went to
No Mercy.
And then most recently, we have Adam Ulrich. He just joined October 24th, 2021. And he is also a
No Mercy.
So 2 No Mercies, 2 strike hards, 1 strike first, and very, very fortunate to have them. Trust me, doing this show, putting the time in. It's a costly endeavor, and we're very much pre revenue.
Yeah. So, nothing is free. Everything that we're on, all the platforms that we're on, all the equipment that we need to give a good quality sound.
Yep.
It all has a dollar tag attached to it.
Yes, it does. Not to mention time to research, time to record, time to edit. Because just so you guys know, we are now on YouTube Live, and this is super great because it's a chance to reach a new audience and be on yet another platform. But that platform comes with certain criteria. Sal had to have a better studio so we can both record at a higher level just for the video feed. Now that's going live, and we still record, local, better audio, and I'm still going to get the files and edit, and that's going to come out never as fast as the live, because live is instantaneous, but it's always going to be richer, more edited, streamlined, and just sound like a professional podcast. That doesn't just happen. It takes time. And the more I'm doing this, Sal, the more I realize it is a true business. It's growing. We have other shows, but it's like chicken or the egg. Sponsors don't really want to deal with you unless you have X amount of followers. And even if you start to get traction, they want more. And it's like, honestly, that always rubbed me the wrong way in the movie industry, Sal. I'd go off and make a great doc, and then it's like, hardly anybody wants to give you money to make it. And when I say hardly, nobody, friends and family, or a Kickstarter campaign or something. So I made some great movies on shoestring budgets. Then you get into festivals and get recognition. And then you win awards, and it's like, then you got to go around and shop it to get a distribution deal. Yeah. It was just so grueling after 10 of those. And I don't want to relive that with Just Curious Media. Yeah. I just want to create content because we love it. It's in our heart. It's in our soul. It's our creative outlet. It taps into so many things, research and, speaking and then editing and putting it all together. And we also know that we're reaching an audience. We have proof of concept now, because we definitely have heard from our audience. We have Patreons now. We have numbers go up. So that's really what drives me, Sal. I hope that sponsor from HelloFresh sweeps in here and gives us lots of money. I mean, I wouldn't say no, but I don't want that to be the goal.
Yeah. I mean, the truth is, whenever people have some sort of endeavor, you have to get backing in some way. So most people look to advertising.
Yeah.
on one hand, everybody wants advertising. On the other hand, everybody hates advertising.
Yeah, they're beholden to the advertiser.
Yeah, there you go. So every time you watch a YouTube video and you're at a pivotal moment, and then boom, there's the ad. That's the internet is still ad driven.
Yes, it is.
It's still to this day. I mean, from the beginning, it was ad driven, and it's still ad driven to this day. So one of the ways to attempt to not be ad driven is by subscription based content. And that's where Patreon comes in.
Yeah. And there's other things too. I've been researching. You could have certain content behind a paywall, but it could be your own paywall. It's like $5 a month. And so this is kind of a soft step for us. Like, you know what? Patreon's working. Your fans are speaking. They love your content and they want to support that content. So you have to keep making content and hopefully even get better at it over time. I mean, we are coming up on 100 episodes under the Just Curious banner, the lion's share being Let's Talk Cobrakai. But when we publish one, if you want to hear our first episode ever, tell them where to get it, Sal.
First episode ever. Well, you're talking about justcuriousmedia.com, the mothership main page, home site, justcuriousmedia.com has everything on it. Now, from there, you can link over to all the other audio platforms, the Google Play, the Apple Podcast. You can go wherever you like, Spotify, wherever you want to go. The world is your oyster. But it all starts with justcuriousmedia.com.
Great point. But I just meant specifically the episode that was our first. Do you remember?
Oh, the Karate Kid?
The karate. You want to hear Sal and I's first effort. Now, again, we had done things together from festivals and that and the other. So we weren't newbies to communicating together. But that's our first podcast. And that's us trying to it has changed immensely since then. One episode to almost on the verge of 100.
Wow.
We can't wait to see what we sound and look like at 200. You know, who's going to come on the show? How's it going to morph? Are we going to follow these spinoff shows from Cobrakai? I mean, the crime show, that's a crime. The crime show, that's a crime is growing. Let's Talk Movies is growing. There's more shows in the queue. And I just kept thinking, I want to double down on what I'm doing, what we're doing. And the fans, if we have more step up and kind of support us at this point in time, we can continue to grow this. And that means everything to me. It's like, wow, it's a kind of a great system that you've built. And we might do some more things down the road, but at some point in time, maybe sponsors will come in where it's like, I guess we could do it. Maybe we'll try it for a certain show. That's a good problem to have, but I don't want to be beholden and I don't want it to let it stop us from growing. So
you know, Jason, because this is something I don't think about much, but before you approach me about Let's Talk Cobrakai, I have been involved in podcasting for a while. In between when you and I worked together at your film festivals, there was this gap of a few years. I'd done a lot of podcasting and did have the pleasure and honor of being on Sirius XM for a while.
Yeah, you did.
But what happens is all those podcasts are gone. They're over. They're done. They had no foundation. They had no support.
Right.
And they're gone. So now here we are today trying to build a foundation, trying to build a support system so that we can be here. Because guess what? Let's Talk Cobrakai has been here now. What like 70? How many episodes?
75, 76. It came out 2019.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's already like, wow. We're now again, initially we were just doing the 10 episodes for the show.
Sure.
But whatever, now we do episodes regardless of show.
Yeah. So we want to be here. We don't want to be one of these has-been podcasts like the podcasts I've been a part of prior to getting hooked up with Just Curious Media. They're gone. They're memories. Yeah. We don't want to go that route.
No.
We want to be here for us and for you.
I used to see this in the festival space when I started United Film Festivals, and I grew it from Tulsa to Los Angeles to New York, Chicago, San Francisco, London. And I was doing it for the course of 12 years. It only ended because it was just such a heavy burden to carry. And I grew it way big. And logistically, you're flying to a new city every 2 months, running a festival.
Yeah.
I overextended myself, but it was a glorious 12 years. Right. Sure. But I would see along the way, like, oh, I've heard of that festival because I was in the festival world. Like, oh, they're new. Because not only was I running a festival, I was submitting to festivals with my own films. Sure. And you'd see one pop up today, gone tomorrow. They would do one festival and realize this is a huge undertaking, and they would fade away. And so I was always proud of the fact that I weathered the storm for so long. And I want to do the same here and even longer, because logistically, I mean, we're on separate, different sides of the country, and we can make this happen. Logistically, that's nice. It sounds like we're sitting side by side like we used to back in the day in the studio, but that's the one thing we have over a documentary production or running a film festival. So
yeah, but you touched on something right there. Yeah, so there was a point in time where Jason and I were indeed in the same room.
Yeah.
What was that about? The first 10 episodes?
Yeah,
12?
we did the first 11 that way. We did Karate Kid, and then we did season 1, season 2 of Cobra Kai.
Okay, and then the pandemic happened.
Well, actually, right? we were waiting for season 3.
Oh, okay, while we're waiting for season 3,
but then the pandemic happened, and then it was let's do Karate Kid Part 2. That was our coming out again party.
Yeah,
Karate Kid Part 2, and then it led to Netflix acquiring the Cobra Kai franchise, and then our numbers just started to go up overnight. Not hundreds of thousands of downloads, but for us, it was all relative. They were just starting to download every episode. Sure. We just saw the numbers going up and up. I was like, what's happening, Sal? We need to get back in the studio remotely now and start recording something, because we know enough, and we can bring our personality and our insight. And then we did the Karate Kid Part 3 and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. No, you called me up. You're like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, well, it's a pandemic. I'm drinking whiskey and arranging my action figures. That's pretty much what I'm doing.
It's Monday at 9 a.m., of course.
Yeah. No, but you're like, we need to get the ball rolling. And I was like, okay, I guess so. And you were right. You were absolutely right.
So let's dive into the Patreon, if you will. So this week alone, I guess it was just yesterday, we jumped into kind of updating it, because we are, again, very lucky and thankful to have 5 strong so far. They'll always be the originals.
Sure.
But we went in and we updated it. We can kind of go through some things. We added 3 new levels.
Yes.
And we also kind of tweaked the current level. So if you're a pre-existing, Patreon, you're going to get the new stuff that we added in there, because some of it was outdated. It was like Instagram follows. And it's like, you know what? I built it when I thought, I knew what it was. And then when you see it working, it's like, well, we got to make this a little bit tighter and offer more. So I'm going to bring up the levels now, and we can go through them. And of course, Sal, I know you love the names of the levels. So why don't you share that with us?
Sure. The different levels of Patreon support are Strike First, Strike Hard, No Mercy, Black Belt, Sensei, Dojo. So we have 3 new additions. Formerly, it was Strike First, Strike Hard, No Mercy. Yep. Now the levels go up. I'm big on the whole idea that life is lived peak to peak. So you never arrive. So we're always trying to grow. We're always trying to get more support. And we always want to give you the opportunity, you, our fans, our listeners, we want to give you the opportunity to get more involved with us.
Absolutely.
Get more acquainted with us, to have more of an exchange and an engagement with us. We want to give you that opportunity, and that's what we're doing.
And I know I'm going to be the first to say this, with everything going on with the new studios and the constant recordings, and sometimes you have to grow in one area and another has to kind of just hold on a second, take a pause. So let's talk movies. If you're a fan of that show, it's definitely been on a little bit of a hiatus. I recently moved to the East Coast from the West Coast, and moving cross country or anywhere, even in the same city, is a logistic nightmare.
Sure.
And then set the new studio up. So I am full throttle now, as is Sal. Our systems now match, and we are set to go. We're adding YouTube lives. So that show is going to pick back up. That's a crime. We just finished 10 episodes, and we had a fan appreciation episode, and then we had another one come out, and now we're going to hit a rhythm on that. And I don't like to be all over the map. I like to be consistent. And if a show takes a small hiatus, it's kind of planned. But when I moved, everything was just on shutdown for a couple of months, just because it was a lot of other things to deal with. So we're going to come back, now everything's starting to go back online, and social media is another. I had to say, keep making content and maybe put social media on pause. I'm going to have something on that more recently or more often, but probably not as frequent, but just like maybe this new episode and there's something, a way to engage with our fans. And also this YouTube live, we're going to talk in show and tell you what's going on in the middle of things. But let's break down each tier just so people have an overarching idea. And even our current Patreons, if they haven't checked it out yet, they'll know, what they're in store for, how their tier has changed. We didn't take anything away. We cleaned it up and made it just better. Yeah. But you said the levels. So starting with strike first, you want to say, what it is. It's also $1 a month. So it's $1 a month.
Yep.
Go ahead and say what they get.
Yeah. Strike first at $1 per month gives you a shout out on all fan appreciation episodes. And we've already done 3 fan appreciation episodes? 5. Wait, hang on. I'm talking about specifically for Let's Talk Cobra Kai.
5.
Holy cow. Okay. So we've done 5 fan appreciation episodes. So when you sign up as Strike First for $1 a month, you get a shout out on every fan appreciation episode.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal.
Not to mention, you get shout outs other times too when it comes up, much like this episode.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So you'll get extra bonuses every now and again.
We're all about, complimenting, we're your biggest cheerleaders as well.
No, so you know what it is, Jason?
Shout outs.
Jason, you know what? And I when I think of this ideology, I think of you because you have always been one to never overpromise and underdeliver. You are one to underpromise and overdeliver.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I'm going to get more from you than I even thought I was going to.
Yeah. Where's that thing? Yeah. Where's that thing that I've been waiting for? I just learned like that's not the way to do it. So the thing we had on there before, like I mentioned, the Instagram follow. Yeah, we do that anyway, but that's not a perk. So anyway, let's move on to the next one. Strike hard, $5 a month. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Tell us what we get.
For Strike Hard at $5 per month, you will get a shout out on select episodes and shout out on all fan appreciation episodes. So the extra perk, so a lot of shout outing happening. So for that extra $4 a month from the Strike First, now to Strike Hard, you get a shout out on select episodes. So in other words, hey, you'll just be listening one day. It's not a fan appreciation episode, and all of a sudden, there's your name. You'll be like, "What?
Wow, Sal Rodriguez.
What? This is only for $5 a month. This is a good deal. So also good bragging rights too.
Yeah, exactly. The next one,
No Mercy.
$10 a month, which is like, okay. I mean, now that's like exceeding certain plans with Netflix. So I know this is big, but break it down, Sal.
Wait a second, Jason. The bottom level Netflix plan for streaming only, I think I'm paying like $18 a month.
No, there's like a less than $10 plan.
What?
One device, not HD. Yeah, there is. There really is.
Okay, you're right. Okay, so I'm on the full HD 2 devices, I think.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and 6 DVDs a month. I know you're on that.
You know what? If you don't get the DVD plan on Netflix, you don't see the whole library. The streaming that on Netflix, that's just a portion of it. That's just a portion of it. No Mercy, $10 per month gets you shout out on all fan appreciation episodes, shout out on select episodes, and this is big.
Huge.
This is pretty huge. A guest appearance on select episodes. So on an episode, you will be on the episode. That's pretty cool.
I'd pay for that if I loved a show or at least followed a show and they're going to let me be on an episode. That'd be amazing. So it's select episode. It's one. We have to kind of limit it at this point.
Sure.
But pretty cool. So those who got No Mercy, like Brian Rumfala, he was Strike Hard. He went No Mercy, and Adam just joined up. Adam Ulrich. I hope I'm saying that right. They're both No Mercy. They're both going to get that now. We got to schedule it, and we'll do it, and it'll be fun. And they can share their love for Karate Kid, Cobra Kai, and also Let's Talk Cobra Kai.
Yes. And like us now, you got to concern yourself with. Wait. Are they going to be on video or are they going to be on audio?
Well, we are now trying to do every episode. It may not work, technical or traveling, but we want to do every episode on YouTube Live.
Wow.
And as well as, of course, the podcast version, which will come out.
Wow. So you'd be
on there. Yeah.
On video.
If they have Zoom capabilities, and most people do.
Sure.
So
that's cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
Very cool.
I think if I were a fan, I'd be all over that. I'd be all over that.
Now we're moving to the new stuff, and we'll start with black belt, and that is
black belt.
$15 a month. Sorry, I was doing my 5 count there.
No. So that's the next level above. So because before we just had strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Now this is the beginning of the next 3 levels, brand new levels.
The new. Yeah.
Wait, are you saying it or am I saying it?
You do it and start. I like what we did last time. Start at the bottom. So basically we can let you know now, but you're going to get all the stuff from the previous, but go ahead and restate it.
Yeah. You get what the previous levels got. Black belt at $15 per month gets you the shout out on all the fan appreciation episodes. It gets you a shout out on select episodes of our choice. It gets you the guest appearance on a select episode. And you get to have a Zoom call with Jason and Sal.
That's a private call. We're not going to record it, so we can really just get in the weeds on things. It could last a while longer.
Sure.
So it could be fun.
It's almost like a personal phone call from us.
Personal phone call.
Wow, that's cool.
We'll do your bar mitzvah.
What now? I feel like even more pressure to look good. It's one thing to reach out to everybody in the universe online. Now we're reaching out to select fans.
Yeah.
And doing one-on-one conversations.
Well, they're reaching out to us.
Okay, well that's a lot of pressure. I hope I wear the right shirt and hope I have wipe the shine off my forehead.
So now, Sensei.
Wow,
$25 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Not cheap, Sal.
No,
about what you spend on Netflix.
Yeah. I think I'm about $19 a month on Netflix. Or how about a gym membership? A gym membership is going to be about this for a gym membership.
Well, probably more than that, but.
Yeah, if you want a nice gym that has maybe towels,
because this is very similar. Towels and
nice wooden lockers is what you get.
Oh, okay.
Sensei,
it's very similar to black belt, so just be specific because there's only one difference, really. But go ahead.
What am I missing on the difference?
Just go through it. Well, I don't want to ruin it. You'll get to it.
Okay, Sensei for $25 per month gets you the shout out on all fan appreciation episodes, the shout out on a select episode, a guest appearance on select episodes, and a Zoom call with Jason and Sal.
So you did say one thing, shout out on select episode. It's all episodes that the shout out on select shout out on select episodes, right? Plural. But the next one was also plural. And you did say that guest appearance on select episodes. Where black belt, you're going to be a guest appearance on one. Sensei, you might be on more than one. You might be a repeat guest.
Yeah, this is where I was almost going to say, like, you reach these levels where you basically become a friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
And if you have your own personality and your own take on things, if you're this level, you probably are really into martial arts, or probably really into the show like us or the movies. Mm-hmm. And it would be a fun person to revisit from time to time, catch up with them, see what they're up to, get their take on things. Sure. It's just another personality. Sure. And
have you seen season 4 yet? Have you seen season 4?
Yeah. Yes, I have. So this leaves one more level. And this is an interesting one, Sal. I know it's a little bit more, but it's in lieu of landing, let's say, a sponsor, not just a Patreon.
Sure.
But it's also, if you think of it in that sense, where it could be a business, it's actually not as expensive as you think, because if you're talking those other deals, they are much more. So this is our taking that step into that arena, just seeing if this is even a fit. And right now we're only offering 2 spots total. So 2 dojos are there for the taking. And please tell us what you get.
The final and highest level at this point, dojo, $350 per month. That's $350 per month. Gets you everything you've heard before. Shout out on all fan appreciation episodes. Shout out on select episodes. Guest appearance on select episodes. Zoom call with Jason and Sal. And here's what really distinguishes this level from the rest: promotion of your brand or your business on every episode. So this is almost getting into sponsorship. I wouldn't say this is advertising in the traditional sense, because guess what? You can have us say whatever you want or promote whatever you want. Maybe just you want to say hello to your college buddies. You want us to give a shout out to some of your family, or you have a business you want to promote, a website you want to promote. So this is getting into that next level. This is the level of dojo at $350 a month.
Yes, that's exactly right. And you've heard this on the podcast before. Sometimes they just push play and they play some beat, some rolled out clip, and it's like it sounds like a commercial. We're not going to do that. If someone is going to do this for us, they're probably going to promote something that's close to them. They have a product, a brand, a business they want to promote, and they're big lovers of the show. And they know that our audience is the right audience. It could be a dojo. I don't know what it is. And it may not even become something. We're just testing the waters here. But we would promote it on every episode, and we would do it in our own words. And we would also want to sign off on what this is. We're not just going to take anything. We're very selective. Just because someone grabs it and they present it to us and it's the wrong thing, well, I'm sorry, it wouldn't fly.
Hang on. You're selective. I want the money. You're about quality.
Yes.
You're about proper fit.
I'm looking for a good fit.
Yes, sure. That's correct. That's Jason Connell for you. So
that covers those. Thank you for listening. That's what we wanted to cover. Yeah. And also just letting you know, this is kind of like a telethon, but it's a Palooza. It's a party, but we really know how much this means to us. It really is. The more fans, the more we want to show up and do a better job. I mean, listen, we were doing this on our own, Sal. We didn't have any fans, and we were bringing it. But, it's already been 2 years. And we're already seeing growth. And even if it's just you and me and there's no video and it comes out once a week, I still feel the pressure to get better, to do more. And just having fans back us just takes us to that next level. I kind of equate it to when I was playing sports and it was a bigger event. You had a crowd. And of course, that energy just takes you up, or being at a karate tournament, the crowd. And then in my film career, you play a movie. Wonderful. You play a movie at a festival with people completely fixated on your film, and you're on the back row and just watching the people, seeing if they get the laughs, seeing how they're reacting. That was like my equivalent of being an actor, because I wasn't an actor, but I was just getting that I know what that feels like. And it feels like that here. Yeah. When we hear from fans, when they support the show, just in their viewership and their numbers, their social media, we love hearing. So numbers are one thing, but getting those Apple 5-star reviews, for instance. We just got 2 more. We're going to be doing another fan appreciation because we want to keep feeding. How many shows read off the 5-star Apple reviews? And I say 5-star, 95% of ours have been 5-star. There's a couple that I think missed the boat, but you have your own opinion. You're entitled to it. But most shows do not take the time to read them on the air. I feel like it's essential. It's a part of our DNA.
Yeah. No, I like the reaching out. I really do. I like it as a content creator, and I like it as a fan. I like knowing that the people providing the content are trying to connect with me. Yeah. That means something to me.
Totally. Absolutely. And our fans are getting it, and it makes me feel just so fulfilled. And we want to see this growth and traction happen with our other shows. This one just is, almost at 80 shows. So it's got a head start. Yeah. Our other shows are just over 10 or in that range, and they're going to pick up steam. And we have some other exciting things too. And this whole new video, that's all new to us, man. You were reluctant. I was like, not even thinking about it, and kept thinking, are we missing out on an opportunity? And going live, even if no one's watching now, it goes to the channel and people can watch it later. Sure. But what's nice is it kind of makes us even more accountable. Okay, I gotta, show up. I gotta do this. And it also feels like we're back at the festivals. And I've said this a few times already, but we're back up there and doing, Q&As and moderating and all that stuff. It kind of makes me feel like we're back up and doing it that way. And I don't know, it just feels really powerful.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who know anything about me and my career, I did a lot of stand-up comedy. I did a lot of acting at many levels. And I honestly hadn't been on camera in a while. I just, I've been hanging out at home. I've been pandemic. I've been pandemicking is what I've been doing. And believe me, the pandemic didn't hit me as hard as it did a lot of other people. Like, I know people that are always out there. They're always doing stuff. They're always running around. My mother is always out doing something. When the pandemic came, I thought, this is not good. When the pandemic came for me, I'm like, well, I can entertain myself at home. I can keep myself occupied. And it went a little too far the other way, So believe me, This is my coming out to the world also. So not only audio, video, being on camera, and like I said, being accountable, being a part of society. Yep. Again, no, it's a big thing. It's a big deal.
We're saving lives.
we are. This is huge. This is really huge.
We're saving your life.
You saving Cobra Kai is saving my life. And you know what? Media. I want to be saying that a year, and that's why the support is so important. We want to be here next year. We want to be here the next year. Yep. We want to stay here. So that's why we need the support to make that happen.
Absolutely. So that's what we got. I want to make one thing clear. Earlier you had mentioned, because we could go either way with this, the dojo level.
Yeah.
Most levels always get the level prior. But dojo, okay. I didn't put on there the shout out on all fan appreciation episodes, or the shout out
because they're already going to be
on every episode. Just to be clear, you're mentioned in every episode, and we'll probably come up with some more fun things, and maybe at some different price points. And who knows, if this has success, we can tweak it and add things and take things away, because these aren't like, we don't have merch. We're not tied into the show other than through our own fanship. Knowledge of the franchise, but we do anticipate getting more interviews as they come around, and we're a lot more fun things in store. Great episodes. We have so many more in the library that you can go and dive into. Like I mentioned, Let's Talk Movies is going to have so many good episodes coming, and Sal, there's already 9 great episodes sitting there waiting to be digested.
Oh yeah. For you movie fans, listen to Let's Talk Movies on Just Curious Media. It's very interesting. A wonderful deep dive into cinema for the fans. And the first 10 episodes are covering the decade of the 1980s.
Yes. Yeah. Each year is a different movie. And, it's a lot of fun. We go, scene by scene, beat by beat, just like we do on the Karate Kid special episodes, just like we do on the episodes of Cobra Kai. We're really just watching it and giving you a play-by-play, our take, and we don't miss anything. And you'll actually learn some stuff and enjoy it. I've had so many friends say like, oh my God, when I listened to the Die Hard episode, I learned things. It was like watching the movie again, or whatever movie we were doing. We most recently did American Gigolo. That, I think a lot of people miss that one. And ideally the point was to invoke interest to go revisit a movie again or see it for the first time. And so I want to have 100 of those episodes. Like, oh my gosh, I want to be like a curator. Like this movie, we stand by it. Check that one out. So a lot of fun stuff. And there's going to be some crossovers, meaning I do plan on doing some martial arts movies that are funnish. People like Roadhouse or the best. Don't hold me to it. But if we do movies like that, how fun will that be, Sal? And then our Cobra Kai audience can come flock over and enjoy a deep dive into something that's not too far from Let's Talk Cobra Kai.
Yeah. It's in the universe.
It's in the universe.
I'm thinking Bloodsport. I keep thinking Bloodsport.
Oh yeah, Bloodsport, Kickboxer.
Yeah.
Even Seagal movies would fall.
Oh, I was an extra in. I think it was Hard to Kill. Yeah,
Hard to Kill.
I was an extra in Hard to Kill.
That's great. That's a good movie.
Yeah, and
Kelly LeBrock.
And Steven Seagal is pretty cool. Pretty cool, down to earth guy. He was real cool to everybody on the set.
It's good to know. I've not always heard that about him.
Well, it depends on who you're talking to. Remember, that was early in his career, so maybe he was cooler early. That's earlier than later.
So that's all we got. Thank you so much for joining in. Hope you enjoyed the deep dive into the Patreon. We don't always want to do our Jerry Lewis telethons, but we wanted to educate. We're not asking for money. We're not asking for anything that's not in your means, or it's just we're sharing because we've already had people do it. And we thought, well, maybe there's more. And if you realize what it means to us, how our path to success, perhaps it would be a good fit. Yeah. I mean, our show is free, but if you want to get more involved with us, you want more communication with us, you want to be our friends, well, then there we go. And I got a car alarm. I'm hearing that, actually. Oh, I got a neighbor that literally his car alarm goes off all the time. That's all right. That will not be in the podcast version. Okay. The live version is subject to things much as like my beautiful white German Shepherd, Nico, who was in the office, the studio here, and decided like, it's too hot, too many lights. Yeah. And he moseyed out. I wanted to introduce him, but he was ready to get out of here. So this is what happens when you go live, Sal. Yeah. So many things. Yeah. The magic of going live. So thank you so much for listening. And please be sure to subscribe to Let's Talk Cobra Kai wherever you get your podcast. You can also really help us by giving the show a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast.
And for all you listeners that enjoy sharing your thoughts, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, send us a direct message, or post a comment on our social media, which is at Let's Talk Cobra Kai, as well as at Just Curious Media.
If you're a dedicated listener of Let's Talk Cobra Kai, consider supporting the show on Patreon. This greatly benefits the show on many fronts and offers you exclusive access and much more. We also highly recommend checking out our other podcast and visiting justcuriousmedia.com.